Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Greg. Greg is from England in the UK. So let's see what Greg has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Greg. How are you?
I'm good, William. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My God, you've been trying, and today is the day.
It is. It is. How are you? Where are you now? Are you back in the
In
UK?
Lon-
You in
I'm
Canada?
back in London. Yes, I'm back in London. So I spent a few days in Montreal, in Canada. I was visiting my godson, my best friend. So he was his sixth birthday. So I went
Nice.
for, to spend some time with them. And of course, the time is on. And I was talking to several people at the same time. And I made some mistakes with timing. And I was like, oh my God, I need to concentrate myself. But now I'm back in England and I'm back to my routine. Amazing. So, Greg, tell me where you're from.
I am from Broadstairs in Kent, so
Hmm.
southeast. Do
How
you know where
far
that
is
is?
how far is from London?
It's an hour and 20 minutes into King's Cross, St Pancras.
I see. And that's the place where you're born and raised?
It is, yeah. I moved back, I don't know now, 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, I grew up around here, then left to go to uni, and then London, and then Surrey with work, and then yeah, 14, 15 years later, I came back post-COVID. Um, yeah, I just wanted to be by the seaside again, and my mum and dad still live here, so
How far are
yeah,
you from the sea?
I can see it.
Oh my God, that's lucky.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't believe it when we found this house. Yeah, because it wasn't even advertised. There wasn't a single photo on the advert that had a sea view. It was just mental. So yeah, we were very lucky to get it and snap it up.
And what do you do for work for a living, Greg?
My day job, I am a project director in construction.
Okay.
Um, as a kind of evening, nighttime, weekend side hustle, I coach men. I'm part of a men's online community.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of four coaches and facilitators within the
Okay.
community, helping people, helping men through meet them where they're at in life, whether they just want to like build on their confidence, or they want a career change, or they want to find their purpose, or they've got kind of trauma they want to work through. It's it's quite wide reaching, but I guess the fundamentals of what you help people through are all pretty similar.
Amazing. And when was
Um,
the moment that you start this new journey as a coach? Did something happen, or you just felt like, you know what, let me explore this area?
yeah, so I mean, I did a philosophy degree originally, and fell into construction, and I was in it, and I was like, well, if I'm in it, I'll just make the most of it, and I'll climb the ladder as quickly as I can, and I'll be the best that I can. And I did that. But at some point in the journey, I began to question whether this is what I wanted to do, whether I was aligned with all the ways of the world within in the construction career, and my values, and I guess becoming a parent, I question those even more. So I began, so I spent many years really searching for a different career or different entrepreneurial ideas. And I was on one such course. I did quite a few courses, which was called Rewired by Brad Bizjack, and it was a mindset course. And yeah, during one of the implementation calls, my wife had just had an accident. She was in hospital, so it was a bit of a unknown time for us. But I managed to get in a hot seat with him and spent like 50 minutes going back and forth. And it was in that moment that he said, lots of people come onto this course are coaches already, or they become coaches with things that they have lived through, that they've had to learn themselves, and are therefore in a position to help other people. So perhaps your calling is to help men to live a more purposeful and present life, to be a better parent, partner, and provider. So they weren't his exact words, but that's kind of what I've taken them to mean. And that was the pivot point, really. That is
Oh,
what I had been searching for. Um, and so yeah, it's been a slow journey towards making that happen. But each month, each year, I'm coaching more men, I'm leaning into it, and I always thought I'd have to leave construction and go
Mhm.
and do this as a completely different career, but actually I don't plan on doing that. I'm gonna lean into it within my current career because I'm good at what I do,
Mhm.
and I add value within construction. But I think also as a sector, it's got a lot to do in terms of men's mental health and mental health in general. So if I could be a part of that from within, then that might fulfill me even more than I could have expected.
Yeah, amazing. I think it's great for us to have a career and also explore a different one where we can find some purpose, where we can help others, where we can find our best self involved as well. I think it's great. It's great to explore. I think that's a privilege when you can do that for sure. Amazing. Okay, great. So during the interview, I'm going to explore a bit more about your life and also about your journey so far. Okay,
Hmm.
are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through memories in life and share your point of views?
Sure. Yeah.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. So I have here my best friend, full of wonderful questions. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just first to relax before the first question. Okay,
Okay.
let's do it. Right, so before I start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change. Okay,
Hmm.
amazing. First question is, who has been the most influential person in your life?
I think the the story I just told about finding my purpose and my calling after a very, very long search for it, or certainly a long period of knowing there was something else I was meant to be doing with my time. So I'd have to say Brad Bizjack, the mindset coach that I had for a couple of years.
And why is that? What do you think he came to your mind straight away?
Because he helped me find my purpose, and it was it was being out of alignment in my life, but not knowing what alignment looked like
Mhm.
was caught. It layered upon the stress. It really it become like what was a niggling feeling for years became an internal screaming to the point where I got signed off work with stress for 2 weeks just before COVID,
Wow.
because it had just reached this boiling point of like throwing my energy into a search and not finding the answer, and but having so much energy and enthusiasm to put it towards something that I couldn't put my finger on, but knowing it was there. So yeah, it has to be Brad really for helping me see that.
Wow. And right now in your family, which person you've been more close to, like not just your family, but your friends are, surround you? Which person comes to your mind when when you feel the saddest, when you feel really down, and also when you feel the happiest? Tell me a person that comes to your mind straight away that you want to share, you want to, put
My
it out somehow.
my wife, my wife Shifra.
Wow. Okay, so she's watching this interview right now, and you have a moment and opportunity to send her a message. What would you say she's watching?
Well, she had a birthday recently, and I'm quite good at writing cards, so I've said it all quite recently. But yeah, she's my rock. She's our rock. She knows that. Um, she holds everyone together, not just our
Wow.
family, but the grandparents in and around us as well. So we are very, very lucky to have her. We all love her dearly. And yeah, she's everything.
And how did your path cross for the first time? How did you meet up for the very first time, if you can share?
We got introduced as we finished our last exam at Reading Uni, and
Uh,
we got introduced to the first by the first girl I ever met at university, and it took her 3 years to introduce me to my now wife. But we both had separate partners anyway, so it didn't matter. It was just a strange that I'd actually known the person she'd been living with for most of uni and never had never met her. So yeah, right at the end of the uni, and then we just started talking, and then met up in the summer, and that was that.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it.
Love to know what you're listening to because I cannot hear it.
I'm into some Brazilian music. I love it's an artist called Xuxa. She's from the 80s, 90s, and I grew
Oh
up
yeah,
watching her every day. It's for children, and I love those music because it brings me this inner child that's always here, and the vibe of this music, and my childhood memories. It just brings
lovely.
the best of me. So I always play those music to get me in the right mood.
Good.
Okay, next question is, what do you like the most about your best friends?
That you just pick up where you
Mhm,
left off, even if it's been a year or sometimes longer. And they're just, they're there for you at the end of a phone call. Again, whether you've spoken recently or not, it's
mhm.
just that reliability and unwavering trust and support. It's yeah, it creates a foundation, I guess, in your life to have people like that.
What's the biggest difference between you and your best friends and the biggest similarity?
What's the say that again?
What's the biggest difference between you and your best friends and the biggest similarity?
The biggest difference. Well, the similarity, I think music is what most of my friendship groups have developed out of.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, music is life, music is everything. And the same as you're using the song to get you in the right frame of mind and the right energy, because you probably won't always have a great day before you come and do these calls, and you've got to lift your energy. So I rely on music a lot, and I've found my tribe through music. So similarities with pretty much all my friends will be musical taste. Um, differences, biggest differences. I mean, there can be many, really. And
Uh-huh.
I'm different friends are popping into my head, but if I think about, I had three best men, so my head is dropping between the three of them. But biggest differences, I don't know. If I choose one, his he's probably put off adulting life for as long as he possibly could. Like three lots of traveling the world and different degrees and masters and PhDs.
Oh,
Whereas, yeah, I got married quite young and bought a house young and started kids quite young in comparison. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest difference. Stepping into real parenting responsibility versus having the freedom to do a bit more what you want when you want.
when you think about yourself, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being Greg? What do you like the most about being you?
I think my drive and my enthusiasm for my passions,
Mhm.
um, people feed off my energy when it's high, and equally they'll feed off it when it's low. But I think I've done a lot of work on my mindset in recent years, and I can really see the growth in myself that
Mhm.
is more the positive side of that scale than it ever has been. Not that I've ever been a negative person, but like life becomes tough at points, and I think there was a period of a couple of years where I was probably low a lot, and
Mhm.
so yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of my drive and my passions and pursuing my purpose, even if it isn't necessarily pay the bills at the moment. It's made every other aspect of my life better because even if I'm just helping one man a week, I'm helping one human a week. It's an incredible feeling, and that energizes me.
Amazing. Very good. Next question. Let's do it. Do you like dancing?
Do I like dancing? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yes, I recently went to Ibiza for my 40th and loved it. We've been many times, but not so much since becoming parents. So it was great to go back for a fairly decent spell because you don't get to celebrate your 40th all that often. So we called in the childcare card and fully utilized it, and yeah, loved it. Absolutely, love it. No, I'm not like I've never done ballroom or anything like that, but just dancing on a club dance floor, very much so.
Beautiful. Next question is, do you think your priorities have changed since you're younger?
Yeah. Yes. Uh, yeah, necessarily. Out of I have a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old. I
Wow.
am obviously married, and you have a house, so yeah, your responsibilities have obviously significantly changed. Um, and I guess I'm reaching a period now where I'm selecting different um, goals and priorities as well. So
Mhm.
since my 40th, my wife and I gave up alcohol, and this Thursday will be 60 days. And it's just a pause, but we just wanted like there was a lot of celebrating in the summer, and we just felt like let's test ourselves. Can we have we got the discipline to commit to this for an extended period? And I also wanted to see how it impacted me energetically and
Mhm.
sleep in particular. And it's been annoyingly, it's had a really positive impact. So it does make you realize why people do it and then they stay off alcohol. I'm not sure I want that to be me, but the longer it goes on, the more you feel like, is that a big enough reason to have a drink? I've DJ'd out 3 times and driven myself home late at night. That was very nice. And the Christmas party season, I guess, will be a test. But as long as I enjoy the part of the night where you're having engaging conversations, I'm quite a one-on-one
Uh-huh.
talker. And as the night gets on and people have drunk more, they kind of disappear anyway. So and I found I did do about 4 months at uni without drinking, as again, I really wanted to get my head down for my exams. And I still had a really good time. I just disappeared at midnight and left them to have the last 2 hours dribbling outside their mouth or whatever they were doing. So, yeah, that's a long answer to your question.
As you mentioned about, being a dad, and actually, when you messaged me earlier today saying that, William, can you rearrange the interview because of my son? I was like, it really touched my heart because I love, when parents, they adjust their life around their kids. I think I love it. When I was in Canada, my best friend, he got 2 kids, one 6, and the other one is just 2.5, almost 3. I got their lives around those 2 kids, and it's amazing, fascinating to see how your life go around them, and that for me, it's love, pure love. When you just, it's about them, it's not about you anymore, it's about them. I think it's great. Saying that, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from your kids so far?
To be present, to
Mhm.
be present, and that's one of the things I try and teach and coach because it's something I had to really learn myself. Um, I was making sure I got home for bath and bedtime for my first boy, but I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I was physically there, but I wasn't mentally there. I wasn't able to switch off from work as
Wow.
quickly as I needed to. I didn't have the coping mechanisms then to deal with the stress that I was under. I was just burying it in a very stereotypical, unhealthy, masculine way. And so I have embedded many different tools into my life since then, which allow me to manage that stress in a healthy way, vocalize it when it needs to be vocalized, and that allows me to be present in the moment because I was always somewhere else in my head.
Um,
So, yeah, definitely that.
Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, what's the biggest joy of coaching? What do you like the most about being a coach?
Just improving men's lives and rapidly.
Mhm.
Um, the reason you pay for a coach is to fast track your own journey. People have suffered for many years to pull it into a framework or a course so that you don't have to. And in the UK, it's like in America, obviously they sign up to coaches and psychologists and all this all the time. It's the norm. The UK is not there yet. Um, but yeah, it's really rewarding to just to help people so that they don't have to go through what you've been through, and having already helped um many men, it's seeing the transformation in their time with you. It's amazing.
Do you think that, you know, nowadays with social media, with people like you talking a lot about, you know, about helping men, like we have this big stigma about we need to be this strong man that don't cry, that we're not vulnerable, we need to be always strong. Do you think nowadays this big stigma is already somehow changing? I think nowadays men, they're more open about their feelings, they show more expression, they cry. How do you see that based on your experience?
Absolutely, yeah. There's definitely a change in the tide,
Mhm.
and there are more and more like men's mental health communities. I'm part of one called Manspace locally in Kent, and
Okay.
it's a bit like an AA where you sit in a circle and you share one at a time. We start with a bit of meditation or mindfulness to ground everyone. There's an inspirational read from a book, and then people share. And it's incredible. It's incredible. And even where some of the shares have been maybe quite tough, or a man's got upset, everyone comes out of it lighter because they've been heard and they've got it off their chest. And
Yeah,
actually, there is a strength in the community because you realize that everyone's got shit going on. Everyone's got
yeah,
stuff going on, right? And it normalizes it. Even if you have got really challenging stuff going on, it normalizes it to know that everyone else has got something going on as well. And actually, you're not special. Sorry, you're not special. We've all got our own challenges, and actually just speaking about it helps. So I
hmm,
think there is a, and I'm sure it's because of the people I follow and the field I'm in, but I see a lot of good stuff happening out there. So I'd say there is a definite the tide is changing for sure. But there's a lot to do. There's a
yeah,
lot of work to do. And I'm like I say, I'm in construction as well, and there's particularly the men on site. I mean, it's the highest suicide rate of any sector in
hmm.
in the UK, so there's a lot to be done yet.
Do you cry easily?
Do I? No, no. And that's part of my motivation as well, is because I do not have I had a nice upbringing. I do not have any trauma that comes to mind. I don't have any trauma, not even that comes to mind or that are buried, right? But I've been conditioned by society or by school or by
Yeah,
someone saying to me at the age of 5, 6, 7, boys don't cry or stop crying or something like that. Because I don't remember that happening, but I do remember judging other kids at around 7, 8 when they cried after they'd lost a game of football, and I just didn't understand it. So already prior to that memory, I had been conditioned to not cry. And so when I coach my boys' football team, and when he cries if we lose or he's disappointed, and this happened recently, I just commended him for feeling that emotion. Like, feel that emotion, like let it all out, but let it afterwards, like, be proud of how well you played because you played brilliantly and you did your best. And it's amazing that you're showing that passion and that emotion. Like,
yeah,
let it out, feel it, feel it, feel it. Because daddy cannot cry, and I don't know why. And it's something that I still continue to try to work on. But no, so I got conditioned at an age that I cannot even remember. So it's something I would like to l let out. That is really, I don't know. I couldn't tell you the last time I cried.
I see. Okay. Next question is, what did you want to be growing up?
My first memory was wanting to be a pilot. Um, don't really know why. My dad was a captain on ferries going between like England and France. So
Wow,
I don't know if I made the transition from that's quite a cool job with responsibility. Let's do it, but in the air. I don't know, but um, yeah. After that, nothing really. I. I never had. I was always jealous of my dad because he knew what he wanted to do from a very young age, and he did it his whole life.
Uh-huh.
Where yeah, other than a pilot, which was nothing I really had a burning desire to, it was just like that sounds cool. Um, yeah, I never really had a super clear goal. But as obviously part of the long search that I did of looking what it is I want to do in my life, the common thread that I kept finding was community. It was everything I was interested in was community based. So yeah, I don't have a straight answer to that, but it was always to be in and amongst people and helping people.
I see. Okay, two questions left. Let's do it. Right, before the next one, of course, Christmas just around the corner. Yeah, we are very close to Christmas. So tell me, what's the meaning of Christmas for you?
Family, and trying to unplug a little bit, which is more relevant these days than I guess ever before. Um, I mean, strangely enough, COVID, where we were only connected with everyone via our phones and via Zoom, like we are now, it brought a strange, different level of connection.
Hmm.
But also, I think what it removed was this constant FOMO that people live with, this comparison, this fear of missing out because no one is doing anything. No one is doing anything. So just be in your house with your family and just soak it in. And we really did. And we just had an incredible Christmas. And there was just something very simple and stripped back about it. And I do think a big part of it was that you're not missing out. There's nothing else you could be doing right now of your life, which is a feeling that I don't think any of us had ever experienced ever before, and maybe never again. And
Hmm.
there was a real peace and calm with that, which again really helped live in that present moment. So for me, it's about family. It's different now. Obviously, we can host where we are now, and all the grandparents come, and my sister comes over from California, which is
Wow,
amazing. It is amazing as well. Um, but yeah, that simplicity of COVID always stands out. But family really is the answer.
I see. All right. Next question is, what's your idea of a perfect day?
Perfect day.
Yeah.
Uh, I would probably have a run by the seaside locally, and a family day. We recently had a double birthday celebration, and we went to London for the weekend. It was just me, the wife, and two boys. And yeah, we celebrated my boy's birthday on the Saturday and my wife's birthday on the Sunday. So
Wow.
yeah, double celebration and just lots of time together. Some fun VR gaming, which we'd never done before as a family, which was cool.
Oh,
The floor was
that's nice.
lava, and then the Lion King on Sunday. So that was something along those lines would be a
Wow.
perfect day.
So your son, your wife, they are Scorpio, star sign. Actually, I'm Scorpio as well. My birthday is next weekend. So,
Oh,
I
happy
mean, this
birthday!
one actually, this one coming out. So it's a Scorpio time now. A lot of Scorpios now celebrating birthdays.
Oh, happy birthday coming up.
Last question. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Let's do it. Last question. Right. Before the last question, Greg, so tell me through your career as a coach, tell me a moment or situation that so far you hold close to your heart. Could be a session, could be a feedback from a client, could be a moment, or it could be anything that you go like, you know what, I will cherish that moment. I always remember this moment so far.
So the first man I coached through a whole program, um, he won't go into too many details of what was holding him back, but he had some deep limiting beliefs holding him back, and he
Mm-hmm.
was holding he would self-sabotage his relationships through a fear of being abandoned because he'd been abandoned as a child, or that was how he had observed losing a parent, and he wouldn't go for like the top like he's in a profession where he could have gone and taken on more responsibility, and he held himself back. We worked together for a year, and 3 months after, or 3 to 6 months after, we kind of caught up to see how he's getting on, and he'd got the top job. He'd been promoted, so he'd taken on responsibility that he'd been hiding from for years,
Wow.
and he was 6 months into a relationship, which is the
Wow.
longest he'd sustained a relationship for. And we'd got him back DJing as well, because he'd been not putting himself into social situations because of anxiety. It was just an incredible turnaround. And this is a very intelligent person who had done decades of different therapies, CBT. He kind of tried everything, and for whatever reason, how we worked together unlocked things for him. So as a first client, it was a pretty amazing start. So I'm really proud of that, and I'll never forget. I'll never forget him. And I'm fortunately seeing him as well this week, and he lives in Europe. I'm going to Europe this weekend, so I get to see him, which will be great.
Amazing. This question for you is: what is the most difficult thing have you ever done?
The most difficult thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Physically, the most difficult thing I've ever done was climb Mount Rinjani in Lombok. After spending some time in the Gili Islands. It was a 3-day trek. Whilst Sheaf and I had been travelling, we were woefully unprepared. She did it in plimsolls, and I did it in some walking boots I'd been given that were 2 sizes too big. We didn't
Oops.
have any warm clothes, so we had to sleep in like the little clothes we had in a sleeping bag. It was absolutely freezing. And then it was like a full day of walking down like volcanic ash that kept us light. So I've never felt so broken after that. But it was incredible, like being on the rim, looking down into the crater. It's like a James Bond villain lair. It was just amazing. So that was, yeah, physically the hardest thing I've ever done.
What's the meaning of life for you, Greg, when you think about life?
There are people out there that will never be their best self until you are yours. And so finding your purpose, finding a way to live a present and peaceful life, I think that's what the meaning of life is, and passing that on to my kids so they can navigate this interesting world of ours.
Okay, so then let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to say some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. All right. Let's start with family.
Love.
Money.
Abundant. I want to say abundant. That's what I want it to be. That was the first thing that came to my head.
Fear.
Fake.
Life.
Living.
Love.
It's everywhere.
Religion.
Hope.
Sex.
Essential.
Politics.
Divisive.
Friendship.
Foundational.
Desire.
Necessary.
Like that. Regret.
Lessons.
Success.
To the beholder.
Happiness.
Life's fuel.
Wish.
Wish. Dreaming is essential.
One word for England.
Home.
And the last one now, coaching. One word.
Ikigai.
Let's pretend I'm going to meet your wife for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define Greg in one positive and one negative word only. What she would say about you?
Positive. Driven.
Mhm.
Negative. Ah, unbalanced. I don't know. Don't rest enough. Probably something along those lines. Needs to
Okay,
rest more.
amazing. Let's play now, Greg, and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But before you ask me the question, people watch this interview right now. Maybe they would like, to connect with you as a coach. Would like to have you guide them somehow, help them through their journey. What's something about the work that you provide that stands out compared with other coaches around the world?
I think for me, alignment, not realizing that I was out of alignment was just kind of mind blowing. And actually, you need to understand your values, your goals, what your purpose is, what fulfills you, where you're going. I created an alignment framework which basically summarizes my 10 plus years of searching for my
Mm-hmm.
goal, um, to help people just fast track what what it is they're meant to do with their life. And for many people, I think they feel trapped in their career. And ultimately, I haven't changed my career. I've found a passion that I'm using as a side hustle, and that began with Tribe. T is the final part of my alignment framework. And I one evening I just made a commitment to start DJing again. I started DJing at home. I started sending some videos to a friend that I bumped into, and it just spiraled. And then before I knew it, we were out DJing together locally, and that
Amazing.
became the catalyst for finding more of my tribe locally and actually becoming a part of the community. And that has had such a huge impact on my new life back home. I grew up here, but like I've had to start again. And that was just by just going and living again, just starting to have some more fun.
Wow.
Um, and so yeah, there's many ways to improve your life, and it can be really subtle, like just have a bit of fun again and just see where it leads.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be something major and drastic, like I'm going to quit this job and fight. It doesn't have to be that big. You just got to follow the little breadcrumbs that you've left yourself, the little clues you've left yourself throughout life. Um, because no one should settle. No one should just accept this is the way it is. It isn't the way it is. It really isn't. There's a lot of joy out there. You just got to look in the right places, and sometimes you need a little bit of guidance to get you there.
You know what? The other day I heard something so interesting that I kept in my mind. It's still fresh in my mind. You never get there. You always learn, you always improve yourself, you always
Mm,
searching for challenges, you always, sometimes you feel like, okay, I'm having this big success. It's a moment and you never get there. There's always another challenge to come. There's always another something you can achieve. So when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, that's so interesting. And I kept in my mind, like, my God, that's amazing. I'm so glad that it's just a simple phrase, but somehow it kind of taught me. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. It's true. It's about, um, you know, you never get there. You always something for you to improve, to learn. If I would come to your gig when you're DJing, tell me a song that's it's a must that you're gonna put it there for people to have the best time of their lives. Tell me one.
I mean, I don't play the same set really twice. I will. It would just be upbeat. I play a lot of upbeat, very wide variation of house music.
Ah,
So
okay.
people will be aware of Barry Can't Swim, for example. He's got some really upbeat, happy piano house, which are good summery vibes. But yeah, I'm not. There's not like a number of songs I will play repeatedly. I like to keep it fresh for my own interest. I don't want to go and do another 3 hour set and play the same song. So, and that's part of the passion and the enjoyment. It's like, okay, I've got a set now. I need to go and find some music. So I'm constantly saving songs into playlists for future opportunities, future sets. Because then when I get to do it, I enjoy it as hopefully, well, probably more than anyone else out there because that's what I love doing.
Okay, you can ask me a question now.
Um, I was just going back to what you just said a minute ago in terms of the journey. I was
Uh,
just going to say what something I found really helpful was the statement, everything in life is happening for you. So even in like the dark moments, even though it's hard to see why that's happening to you at that moment in time, when you truly internalize that and you believe it, it really does soften the moment. And you know that when you come out of this, you're going to see why, and you're going to see how it was a positive pivot point, even though at the moment you can't see. And that if you do internalize it, it becomes a superpower, I
yeah,
think. Um, so I just thought that as you said that, yeah, because you've got to enjoy the journey, and actually the journey is there to serve you.
totally.
So, what is the one question that you're surprised no one has ever asked you?
Oh, that's a good one, actually. Actually, this question. Oh my God. Say that again for me to go very deep in my thoughts now. Say the question again.
What is the one question you are surprised that no one has ever asked you?
Oh my God. I answered here, Greg, over 1,500 questions. So imagine. Oh my God. Whew. Um, wow, you're good with questions. I love that. I love being the spots. I love when someone challenges me with question. Okay. Okay. Actually, nobody has ever asked, I think nobody ever asked me why what my morning ritual, for example, is something very simple, but I don't think somebody ever asked that.
Do you want to answer it then? What is your
Of
morning ritual?
Of course, now I can answer that. Okay, very simple. I'm early bird to start with. I love waking up very early. Love to have this fresh air in the morning. Even though sometimes if I don't have a long sleep, I love waking up very early, like early 5, or I'm like wide awake. Um, First of all, as soon as I wake up, I have a moment with myself that I've learned with my grandmother since when I was 7 year old. When she told me once, she said, "William, every day when you wake up, have a moment of yourself of gratitude, be thankful for everything you have, for people around you." And she said something that I never forget. She said, "Trust me, nothing's gonna hurt you. You're gonna have tough moments, of course, you're gonna have challenge. However, you're gonna be safe if you do that every morning. And when you go to bed as well." So I have this moment with myself every morning when I wake up. I just literally have like few a minute, yeah, just like of gratitude,
Mm.
thankful for another day just to be alive. I see life as a gift every day. So I have this moment with myself about gratitude. And literally do my bed. I think making your bed is the first thing you need to do, even though you are late or anything, you need to make your bed. I had a shower and I start my day very quick. I know I drink some water as well. I have water on my side. I have this bottle of water that I have some water before I eat anything, and have a shower and start my day very early. So said that's very quick routine, but it's something that I've been doing for a very long time, and I think this moment of gratitude, it makes me feel the best every day. Even though sometimes I have some challenges, of course I do, and I always will have as well. It's about learning, but I don't know. It's sometimes, and she was so right, my grandmother, because somehow it hits me. I feel sad and everything, but I feel protected somehow. It's about protection. So I
Mm.
think that's my routine every morning. Even though I could be anywhere, I could be traveling, I could be, in a place. But I have these moments every time when I wake up, literally a little moment with myself before I get off bed. I just have this moment, and I start my day. So that's and actually and going to bed, in the evening, I have the same moment as well. And I start doing a little bit of meditation before sleeping, because I do interviews most in the evenings, and sometimes I finish the interviews and I'm still buzzing with the energy,
Wired, yeah.
literally like buzzing. And sometimes I cannot fall asleep because even if I'm very tired, I'm still buzzing with the emotions, with the, this. That's why I told you at the beginning about, when I start talking about the magic box, I get so excited and I can go on and on. And so I started doing this breath meditation where I can relax my body, relax myself, and it's work. It's working actually, because I had some moments I couldn't fall asleep. Literally, I need to wake up so early, and it was midnight, and I literally couldn't fall asleep because of my energy. I've got this energy. So yeah, I started doing this breathing like every moment, like, oh my god, it relaxes your body, and I don't see myself falling asleep. I just, one point when I come, oh, I slept.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's back to your question. I have this moment of morning when I wake up. I have a little time with myself about gratitude, and I start my day. So that's my morning ritual. I don't think never anyone asked me this question before. That's why I'm very excited talking about it.
It's a great routine, and the fact you bookend it as well is amazing. Because I would say I have a similar nighttime routine. I don't do it in the morning, but
Mhm.
I spend a lot of time on a gratitude journal in the evening,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I use a yoga nidra to go to sleep to, because my mind is normally racing. And sometimes my gratitude journal, I turn it to the back of my book, and it becomes my like entrepreneurial idea journal or my social media content journal, and get all that out of my head, and then go into meditation. But it's I attribute gratitude journal to like the single most
Yeah.
important thing I've done in the last 3, 4 years. It's completely rewired like the neural pathways in my brain to change my natural frequency to be much higher. So yeah, I'm not surprised to hear you do that.
Did you enjoy the interview, Greg?
Yeah, no, it's been great. Yeah, I was don't think I've ever got caught off guard. Yeah, no, it's nice to be put on the spot. I actually I interviewed someone last Wednesday at Wembley football stadium, and
Wow.
it's someone I've been working with for a year, but I didn't have it planned, and I really enjoyed it. I really, because you just have to listen. You just listen and you follow the cues, and actually, where I thought it might go, it didn't go that way because he gave me different things to work with, and um yeah, I really enjoyed it, and the people that are filming it did as well. So we're probably just going to put that out unedited because it just, even though occasionally like a tour come out and these fake crowd screams would come out, we just kind of reacted to that as part of the interview. So yeah, no,
Amazing.
it's I can see why you do it, and like you can get a lot of energy
I
of
love
human
it.
interaction, right? Even though there's a screen here, we're all so used to talking through a screen. I don't think it prevents any kind of building of a rapport. So yeah, good for you. Send me where you've explained what this is all about in detail, so you don't have to do it again.
I
Because I
will.
was looking for that and I didn't come across it. So yeah, I'd love to hear to your full, detailed,
Sure.
unbridled story.
Amazing. First of all, thanks again for taking the time. I know you are a busy man. You have your jobs, you have your kids, and I strongly believe that nowadays, as you know, we are so busy with our own lives, yeah. And when someone take their time for us, it's pressure. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you to make time for the interview. And before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Anything that I live by.
Yeah, a positive message or anything that inspires you in life.
I mean, I think probably what I mentioned a minute ago. Like everything in life is happening for you, and
Mm.
since I embodied that, it has felt like a superpower because every difficult moment, I stop and I journal on it, and alongside my gratitude journal, I'm like, what is this trying to teach me? How this is just adding depth to my coaching. I didn't know I needed to learn this, but now I'm learning it, so I'm going to help other people learn this in the future before having to go through the pain that I'm going through now. So it is a superpower because there is no challenge that isn't serving you. And I just, if you can really believe that, and it is difficult, but once you really believe that, it's it's incredibly empowering.
Totally amazing.
Yeah,
Greg, thanks again for the interview. Regards to your family, to your kids and friends, and keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure having you on the show. And I'll talk to you soon, sometime,
that's
okay?
great. Thanks,
Take
William.
care. Bye
Cheers. Bye
bye.
bye. Bye.
Good night. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, First, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.